to Service and Sacrifice, everybody, here on WTEN Plus this week, May 15th. Special guest will be joining us in just a little bit, talking about a wonderful event that's actually coming up tomorrow. So if we're able to get out up Fort Edward Way, lots to take advantage of. But joining me right now, as they do each and every week, Dom Dominguez, Emil Baker.
Hello again.
Hello,
guys.
gentlemen.
Hello. Good morning.
Beautiful day outside right now. The Mother Nature's been a little finicky, as she usually is in early springtime. Hey, did you get your boat in the water yet?
I did.
Yeah.
It's there. It's in the water.
You didn't tell me it was in the water.
Uh,
I haven't piloted a boat in years.
Yeah.
Since that accident.
Yeah. No, it's in the water. I'm stoked. It's great. I'm gonna have some vets on the water soon. I'm gonna have the family on the water soon. Believe it or not, the boat with me has done tremendous with mental health. It's really great. It's very.
I'm sure.
It's like a serene area, and I have it on Sacandaga Lake, so I feel like it's like Indian in the cupboard. It's so natural over there that I don't know. It helps. It helps.
Kids are barking at me to get the pool open.
Oh,
Not just yet.
Is it me or is it really cold this May? Was it like this last year? Is it like this every year and we just never know?
Well, no, yeah. I mean,
Is it
early
one of those
spring,
Adirondack
it
things?
can be.
I think it was a fairly normal one, but as I get a little bit above my prime age, I'm finding it more difficult to embrace cold weather.
Well, the damp and the cold, right? That doesn't do anybody any good.
My arthritis, I think, is the problem.
So next week, Dom here is off on some training, right?
I am.
Some
I'm
official
away.
VA mission.
Yeah.
But a nice gentleman by the name of William May. Does he prefer William or Bill?
You know what? We call him everything. Will, Bill,
call him
William.
everything.
Yeah,
Hey, you.
Mr. May.
Hey,
Hey you. Yep. All that. He's just he's a good guy. He does a lot of our outreach.
Right.
So one of the big things that I started with the VA in Albany is we see a lot of veterans isolate themselves, and we talk about this in the different episodes that we have. So I say, hey, why does a veteran need to come to the VA? Why doesn't the VA go to the veteran? So that's what Will is. He'll go out and he'll go to a veteran's. He's done it before. He goes to a veteran's home, sets up ID card station, gets their ID going, gets their enrollment going. So for every veteran out there listening, if you want the VA to come to you, reach out to us, and we'll send Will May to you. And he'll have the enrollment forms. He can take your picture, get your ID cards made right at the courtesy of your own home, workstation, workplaces. If you're a police officer and you have a lot of veterans within your police departments or wherever it is, if there's veterans in there and you want Will May, the VA, to come to you, we're happy to do that.
Super, super easy.
Absolutely. How great is that?
I think it's an amazing thing. There's that delay on some older veterans, especially part,
absolutely.
not to have to travel to get anything done, and going to them will enable them to get what they need.
Yeah.
And we'll certainly get more into the weeds on it with Will when he's here. But there are priority groups, correct?
It's very confusing. Very confusing. It's just as confusing as VA math. And for all those veterans who are service connected and they talk about VA math, they get very frustrated. But it's very confusing. But yes, Ryan, there's priority groups. There's 8 priority groups, and I'm gonna give it to you guys really quick. But the best priority group to be in, if you're a veteran, is priority group 1. What is priority group 1? It's for veterans who are 50% or over service connected, or unemployed due to their service connection. And what it is for priority group 1 is they pay nothing. All their care, everything it is covered. Then we have priority group 2, which is 20 to 30% service connected or higher. You may have some co-pays. And then priority group 3, and it's only 10% with co-pays and this, that, and it gets difficult. Will be able to kind of break it down next week on the different priority groups. But again, it goes from priority group 1 to priority group 8, and then it gets a little bit more difficult with priority group 8A, AB, AC. So, yeah, it gets tough. But once you understand what the priority groups are, it's almost like changing the speeds on a blender, right? It's just easy. All right, speed 1 does this, speed 2 does this, speed 3 does this, and it's the same with the VA. Priority group 1 does this, you're covered. Priority group does this, you're covered with co-pays. Priority group 3 does. It's just, I don't know. I don't know why it's so difficult, but.
Well, the process even for veterans in general, these are progressive illnesses sometimes and progressive diseases. The VA is very good at anticipating to treat and whatever, but the things that have happened in military life can be kind of major, and as you age, the effect of them gets bigger.
Yeah, but this is what this podcast is about, is really dissecting these different benefits and priority groups and VA math and help the veteran understand what's available to them. So,
And once you're settled into wherever you're determined to be, then you're just, it's just smooth sailing from there, I'd imagine.
absolutely, yes.
Well, Will will be here with us soon to talk all about that. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a gentleman by the name of Jacque Ecuyer, such a fun name to say, is going to join us. He's the founder of 4s4Life. He's going to explain all about that organization. He founded that years ago. And for the past 5 years, he's been running Operation Give Back up in Fort Edward, which raises a lot of money, goes to all sorts of resources and organizations that support our veterans and our first responders locally. So do stay tuned for that. Keep watching Service and Sacrifice here on WTEN Plus. We're back after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to Service and Sacrifice. Joining us now, our special guest this week, Jacque Ecuyer. Did I get the last name right?
You got it right.
Look at that.
That's
See,
amazing,
I've been
Ryan. Good job.
practicing
Got that.
all
Never
week
got
long, Jacque. I've been practicing. Jacque, as we mentioned a little while ago, is the founder of 4s4Life. They've got a big event coming up, I believe the fifth annual, right? Operation Give Back.
Yes, sir,
Which
it
we'll be
is.
jumping into in just a minute here. But first, Jacque, let me get you to explain 4s4Life, what it's all about, why it got started, and a little bit of your background. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Well, thanks for having me. 4s4Life. The S's stand for strength, struggle, sacrifice, and survival. So you can apply it to just about anything. It was started 2013, the groundbreaking, I guess, after my father had passed away. It's focused on mental health is the biggest pillar that it stands on. It's with my battles with mental health. So I decided to turn my power to purpose and my pain to purpose and turn it into something positive to help as many people as I possibly could.
I love that. And you have a brother-in-law who served or is serving, correct?
Yes, actually, I have two sons that serve in the Navy. I also have a brother-in-law who's a Marine. My father-in-law was a Vietnam vet. And then uncles, grandparents, several veterans in both my wife's and myself family. So
It's amazing.
So as you got this started, Jacque, what was the reaction and what has it been like running this organization now? And in your estimate, how many people do you think you've reached and helped through this?
wow. All told, I would probably say, honestly, probably tens of thousands of people. Especially during COVID. We did a lot of programs during COVID when everything was shut down. We actually did a thing called Feed the Front Lines, which is where individuals would buy meals for first responder staffs. So it was twofold. It would help keep the restaurants' doors open, these small restaurants, but also feed first responder staffs that were just, oversaturated with calls. So we did 350 first responder staffs. And we also opened a makeshift store in Uno's dining room up there, and we fed over 3,000 families. It was all free. It was all donation-based. So certain projects like that.
That's fantastic. And this is right along the lines, Dom, Emil, of what we talk about every week, right? Supplying these resources for our veterans, for our first responders, anybody that's dealing with those traumatic experiences that just need that little extra help, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is something we talk about, like you said, Ryan, all the time, and how important it is for the community to integrate with the veterans within its community and vice versa. The veteran knowing that the community is out there to help them for different resources, whether they're mental health, whether they're food, jobs, any of those things, how important that is for a veteran to feel integrated with their community.
The veteran themselves want to see different views and get different opinions and find out different people's way of suggesting they can help themselves. So I think that's wonderful.
And outside of events and things like that, Jacque, what are some of the other resources that you make available for people that are seeking help?
So we have, over the years, have started an anti-bullying campaign in the schools, Become a Buddy, Not a Bully. I have a conscious men's group that teaches men how to meet in group sessions with other men and talk about deep-rooted issues, not surface-level things, but really get into the heart of the matter, which there's not enough out there for our men. And men's mental health is one of the huge downfalls in society because we're not allowed to reflect that or to talk to other men because of the alpha male complex, unfortunately, in our society.
I recently lost a good friend of mine from high school. Took his own life a couple weeks back. I hadn't seen, it was somebody I hadn't seen in years. Our lives went in different directions. But those adolescent memories certainly remain, and he was a wonderful, wonderful guy. But again, it sparks just that in particular, men's mental health. And for some reason, our stubbornness to reach out and seek that help, just to talk, get stuff off your chest, right? It's so needed.
Absolutely, I agree. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Operation Give Back, especially for our veterans that deal with depression and PTSD, they come together and they laugh, they cry, they share stories, and it's just amazing to just watch all of these men and women come together with like-minded people that understand what they're going through, but also realize that there is a community there to support them, to stand behind them, and that, I think, is the biggest proponent of what this event propels out into our communities.
And what's the one thing, if there's one thing, Jacque, the common theme that you've heard from people who have benefited from what you're offering, what do they say to you?
I'll tell you, I've gotten more hugs and thank yous in the last couple of years from men and women, and it just blows me away because I don't see what they see, I guess, to a certain extent. Like, if you raise, several $1,000s and you donate it to a cause or an organization, you don't really see it. But when you get that veteran or someone's family or someone's son or daughter come up and just thank you for doing that for their family, it's really heartwarming, and it makes me want to do it even more. And I look forward to this event each and every year.
All right, well, we're going to be talking about Operation Give Back and how you can get involved, where and when it's happening after this quick break. Stay with us here on Service and Sacrifice on WTEN Plus. Welcome back to Service and Sacrifice this week. Joined once again by our special guest here, Jacque Ecuyer, talking now about Operation Give Back, 5th annual. This was born out of your 4s4Life organization. It's been uber successful, right? Fair to say this is happening up in Fort Edward, and you've partnered with Slickfin Brewing for each one of these, right? They've been hosting every one so far.
Yes, actually, the story behind it is it actually started over a beer and a conversation with the co-owner of Slickfin, amazingly enough. And so Heather and Chris March, who are both Marines, are the owners and proprietors of Slickfin Brewing Company. And I just brought it up to Heather one day, and I said, what do you think about doing a military appreciation day? I didn't think anything about raising money. I just wanted to create a fun day.
Yeah.
And first year, we planned it in 3 days. We raised $3,500 in 3 hours. It was about $1,000 an hour, and that's without any planning. And we started to add food and live music, and it started to grow each and every year, and more people wanted to get involved. More businesses wanted to be involved, more volunteers. So we figured we were onto something, and Vested Veteran Grill, another Alan Lapel, who is retired Army, he's the other co-founder. So together, we made this team effort, and we turned it into something that's very few and far between that I found any events like this in our area that everything goes back right to our veterans locally.
And what I love about this too is it's essentially all day. It's not like, oh, geez, it's this window I can't make it. Noon to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Swing by when you can, right?
Absolutely. We have live music all day. We have 4 solo acts, 4 full bands, 50-50, raffle baskets, silent auctions, 3 food vendors. I mean, you can bring the kids. It's open. It's free to enter. There's no charge to get in. It's open to everybody. And actually, Adirondack Peer-to-Peer buys the first $1,000 in food. So if you get there early, you get a voucher. You can pick any of the food trucks, and the veterans can eat for free. So we have so many different facets that come together that make this actually work.
And 100% of the proceeds,
100%.
correct,
Absolutely.
goes out into the community.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is awesome that you were able to make that happen.
Yeah, and we choose beneficiaries each year. We try to switch them up. So we've done programs that people have heard of: Operation at Ease, the Adirondack Vet House, the Veterans Community and Housing Coalition. We've done Therapeutic Horses of Saratoga. This year we're doing the United States Marine Corps League, VFWs, American Legions. Whoever needs help that we think we can help them in any capacity with whatever they're doing, that's where the money goes.
I love that. And if you're looking for additional information, you can seek out Operation Give Back right on Facebook. I'm looking at the page right now. Gives you all the information and how to get there. And again, it's an all-day affair. Dom, Emma, we going to get you guys there?
I will be there. I mean,
what?
Marines were created out of a bar called Tunt's Tavern back in the 1700s. So I bet I'll be there. I mean, and it's great that you're doing this. I know before we got to the podcast today, we were kind of talking networking, and
Absolutely.
what you started was just a match, and now it's really become a big flame, but a flame in a positive manner where veterans can really get out there and talk, expose
Agreed.
what they've been through, and know that it's normal. It's absolutely normal. Many of us are going through it, so it's. Thank you for doing that. It's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You bet you'll see me and my wife. I'll drag my wife there and all that stuff. But yeah.
I wish this program could expand to other areas. I think it's just the greatest concept possible.
And you know what, Emma? I think it is, though. We're starting to see stand-downs. We're starting to see a lot of mental health summits. Everyone's pitching in, and that's the beautiful thing about our nation is it's great. We have a lot of good, caring, country-loving people in our communities, and the more we expose them, like what Jacque is doing, the better it is, the better it grows, so I'm loving it.
And I want to point out, we're going to say this is happening tomorrow. Little secret here, we usually tape these things a week ahead of time, but this is happening tomorrow, Saturday the 16th, there at Slickfin, noon to 10 p.m. Jacque, if people can't make it out, what are ways they can donate? What do they need to know? No, you're accepting donations all the time, correct?
We always do. They can reach out. Right now, as we were talking earlier, unfortunately, the web page is under construction. We're adding some things. But there is actually a page for Operation Give Back. Five Towers Media created a website and a page. I can put the link up on social media. I can also send it to you so you can put it and maybe tie it into this. And it'll actually give you the event, everything that goes on, where are the beneficiaries. It gives you all the information and a donation link as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, this all gets posted to our YouTube page. You send me those links once we post it up there on YouTube. I'll put that right in the summary in the description there. So how is it now? Is it much easier getting this organized now that you've done it for 5 years now and getting people on board and putting it together? Has it gotten easier?
Yeah, actually, as soon as it's done, like the 16th, I'll start hitting up my bands, everybody the night of, and say, okay, we're doing this again next year. But the big thing is that how many businesses and volunteers that I've had move forward to come and help. And I think once they see, as Dom pointed out, they want to be a part of something. A lot of people tell me, I don't know how to get started. I'd love to help. Well, you don't have to start anything. You could just join up, come out and volunteer. Come out and just be around what we do here. Come out and see what this event is all about and how it affects our veterans. We can actually, as Emil said, make this a bigger thing. And that was one of my big things when I started. It was maybe someone catches on in Vermont or New Hampshire. Come out and consult. Would you be willing to start an operation? I would do this in every state if I could, and I have no problem doing it. I think this is what we need at our events like this.
100%. 100%.
And I am hoping to make it this year as well. Again, tomorrow, Slick Fins Brewing in Fort Edward, noon to 10 p.m. Get out there if you can. Donate, support our veterans, support our first responders. Again, 100% of the proceeds are going out to the organizations that put that money to good use. Jacque, great to see you. Thanks for coming in and joining us this week. We really appreciate it. And we're going to be back one last time here on Service and Sacrifice right after a quick break. All right, welcome back to Service and Sacrifice. Jacque Ecuyer. How cool is he? Good man.
I'm surprised you could even say that. I couldn't say that.
Well, I had to ask him when I met him out in the lobby when he first got here, because he's been in here a couple times in the past now on the regular newscast, and yeah, I knew it was Jacque. I said, Ecuyer? He was surprised. Yeah. Ecuyer.
I love it.
I
very
learned to only
French.
use first names on some people. That's,
But you had gotten to know him a little bit through. You kind of followed each other on social media. I mean, you were aware of him, right? But
yes,
you had,
and
Yeah.
a little bit of what he did. It's wonderful. I
amazing.
love the fact that it's a fresh idea.
I love the fact that it's growing.
Yeah, yep.
You know, how many of these types of events were there in the 60s and 70s, 80s?
All there were social organizations really back then, VFWs and American Legions, and the vets went. They had dinner. They had a few drinks, and there really weren't a lot of other activities that went through it.
I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I feel like VFWs and American Legions, they're kind of downsizing. They don't have the memberships that they used to have. So when I see events like this, I think how great, because events like what Mr. Ecuyer is doing
you got
includes
it.
the whole community. So you don't just have to be a veteran to be a part of this. You could be a part of the community and volunteer or go and meet other veterans and vice versa. I think that's amazing. I think
and that a much younger generation
Yeah,
is
yeah.
becoming aware and becoming educated, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yes.
we heard him talk about, I think, a Girl Scout troop that was getting involved,
How amazing.
and the Little League, and doing 50-50 raffles. But learning from these veterans and from these is perfect. It's what
I
we
get
need.
goosebumps every time I hear stuff like this.
And the older veterans really enjoy meeting younger veterans too,
Yeah.
that are there at the program and understanding how their generation is progressing, because it's different how it is now compared to when we were their age and we got out of the service.
Yeah, it is cool. I will say, just last week, my son, the Marine Corps came to my house and was talking to my son. I was talking to this young sergeant. It is nice to communicate and see what's new, what's going on. It's amazing. I love meeting other veterans. So.
And we talk a lot about, too, Dom, and we were talking about this just a second ago, the need for mental health, especially for men, especially for our veterans. We often talk about what is it that when you serve, especially when you're in such a traumatic, engaged role overseas in a combat zone, right? To come back to civilian life and then try to readjust, what is it that you're doing to ground yourself? And if you need help doing that, where do you turn?
Yeah, and if, for all those veterans listening in the community, if you could send that to Ryan, that would be great. We would love to hear your voice. We would love to hear what's going on, what you do to ground yourself. We're all different, right? The one thing I will say, and I'll say it to all our viewers out here too, and Jacque was kind of talking about men and mental health, and the thing I used to always tell my troops when I was a first sergeant was, if you break your arm, what do? You go to the hospital. You don't just stay home with a broken arm. If you break your leg, what do? If you have a toothache, who do you see? You go to the dentist. It's no different with mental health. If something is wrong and there's something ain't right there, go to the doctor, go to the VA, go to those community events, reach out to them, get it taken care of. It's no different than a toothache or a broken arm. I don't know why this stigma of men just keeping it in is in there. And I'm a part of that problem. I was a part of the problem. But once you let it out, once you know that it can be fixed, God, what a feeling.
I remember my generation, the difference was that you're no longer surrounded by brothers that you can trust, that you care about. You're on your own, and you have to evaluate how you're dealing with life, how you're doing on your own, and that people don't want to admit that they need anything. And I think this is a great chance to get them to look at it from a different view, open up to someone to talk to.
And Emil, I know you often talk to groups of soldiers and Marines, but before they deploy, right? That's something that you've done on occasion and do pretty regularly. Do you talk about this with them? That if they're feeling they need to help, that when they get back to seek it out? Do you talk about that?
We do talk about a lot of different things. I talk about some of the VA benefits and some of the things that they can receive, and just that they understand they're not alone, that this isn't a recovery of their own when they come back. They have to adjust to their family, adjust to the private life, and still continue on in their military service. So it's a time to offer these different things to make them think about it. And at some time they will wrap onto that thought and hopefully use it.
Well, and as Dom said, if you're watching and you yourself are a veteran and you find it sometimes difficult to settle your mind, ground yourself, if you will, what are you doing to do that? Let us know. My email is always open, rpeterson@news10.com. Send us some comments. We'll talk about it here on the show. And as always, if you have any questions, if you yourself are a veteran, if you're caring for a veteran, and you have questions about benefits and resources that are available, again, that email, rpeterson@news10.com. And these two right here, they're with me every week. They're full of answers and wisdom. And if they don't know the answer, we will find the answer and bring it to you. So we say, as always, thank you for joining us here on Service and Sacrifice on WTEN Plus. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you right back here next week.